Everybody, today in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make the base plate drawing. So I'm going to start by creating a new sketch, and I'm going to make a rectangle with the overall size of the part. So 4.25, tab on the keyboard to get to my other dimension by 4.25. And, whoa, I did something wrong here. Well, let's check this one. Well, that's 425. That's why. No big deal. All right. From here, we're going to start adding details. So there's another rectangle on the inside here. All right. And if I look at my dimensions, it looks like it's 1.25 by 1.25. And then I need to get the space between that rectangle and the edge of the part. So it looks like that's 0.406 in both directions. All right, so now I have that square in the right place. The next thing I'm going to do is the slot near the top. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw some lines for that shape. And then I'll go back in dimension. So this should be 0.5. This should be 0.5. And this should be 1.75. That's in the right place. I'm going to use the trim tool just to trim this line away, so it looks like the actual part. All right, next thing I'm going to do is add holes. So I'm going to create circles roughly where these holes are. And I think I'm just going to do a few locations. And you'll see why in a moment. All right, so I'm going to dimension these so they're in the right place. So to get them dimensioned in the right place, the sheet that has been handed out gives you the dimensions to the opposite side of the part. All right, so this dimension is 2.75. And this dimension is 3.875. And then I'll do the same thing on the opposite side. And then I also have to go to the opposite side horizontally. So those are going to be the same dimensions, 3.875 and 2.75. All right, from here, I'm going to go ahead and make the other circles. And I'm going to use the existing locations of the circles to help me line them up. So if I click on the circle and I hover over each circle for a second, you'll notice that I'll get this highlight that shows me that I'm lined up with both of them. So I don't necessarily have to align these if I use those just quick snap features. Also, let's say if I don't align them, I'll purposely not align them over here. I could create dimensions to put them in the right place, or I could use the horizontal vertical constraint. So when I do that, I click on the two circles, you'll see it lines them up with each other, both horizontally and vertically. So it'll line them up with the existing circles. All right, so there's another way that you can get them in the right place. The next thing I'm going to do is get these holes to be the right size. So it looks like I have diameters of 0.23. So it looks like this one and this one are 0.23. So I'm going to click on dimension. And then I'm going to use a constraint again. I could just create a dimension on this one, but just to show you another way, I'm going to click on equals. And I'm going to click on this circle and this circle, and they'll be the same size. You'll notice there's a little equal symbol next to it, showing that it has a constraint on it. I have a bunch of holes that are 0.177. So we'll dimension this one. And then I'll use the equal constraint again to make these all the same. So I'll click back on the original and click on the other ones that are the same size. And then I have one last size here. This one's 0.191. And then I'll use the equal constraint here to make those the same. And I've got one last circle. It's going to be up here. This one's going to be 0.2. And then I'll have to dimension it to get it in place as well. It's going to be 0.875 from the side and 2.875 from the bottom. Then I can finish the sketch, extrude, and then I want to select for the operation new component. So new component is going to be separate from the other components that I create in this part assembly. And it should be a depth of 0.24. All right, so that is how you create this first part for the Trammel toy base. I'll have another video posted for how to make the second part that attaches to it as well.